Happening now after a more than 9-month police investigation, an arrest has been made connected to vandalism and threats surrounding Congressman Tom Reed. Plus, baseball is back in Jamestown.
Well, that gosh darn humidity is going to be back in play for today, but then it backs off for the weekend and cooler air into next week. We'll talk about it next as the news at noon starts now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
A man has been arrested and charged in connection with the vandalism and threats made towards Congressman Tom Reed last year. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Watkins Glen resident Jack Kopak was arrested without a fare by Corning police and the FBI. He's now facing several felonies connected to the alleged acts, including making terroristic threats. In August, a brick was thrown through the street-facing window of Congressman Tom Reed's office in Corning. No campaign staffers were in the building at the time, and no injuries were reported. Surveillance video wasn't able to successfully identify the perpetrator then. Kopp was arrested after leaving a dead rat and a brick at the congressman's home in October last year. Reed says that he was threatened at the time. Now this morning, the congressman expressed his gratitude towards law enforcement members who have been assisting in the case. He says while the incident greatly impacted his family, he hopes this starts the closure and healing process in the matter. Well, a virtual forum to address the drug epidemic and resources for recovery took place in Chautauqua County. WNY News Now's Mario Cosentino with a look at what was discussed.
Dubbed the Hope and Healing Conference of Western New York, the event centered around self-care, creativity in drug prevention, treatment, and recovery. As explained by County Executive P.J. Wendell, this comes at a time where overdose cases and drug-related deaths in the area are increasing at an alarming rate. He says isolation and fear in regards to the global pandemic may be playing a role in this increase.
We consider the landscape of behavioral health in our area. We cannot overlook the data.
The data he was referring to is a 54% increase in non-fatal overdoses from 2019 to 2020. There was also an 18% increase in overdose fatalities during that same time period.
As I said before, we need to know these numbers, but we need to also have hope. Hope that there's an effective prevention, and hope that there are treatment options available, and hope that recovery is possible.
Treatment options were addressed directly in the conference, which featured a panel of esteemed U.S. and international speakers discussing the role of arts in addiction and mental health treatment. Other workshops throughout the day covered a wide variety of topics regarding mental health, like mindfulness, vaping, and a panel from Strong Starts Chautauqua County. In the midst of the area's drug crisis, Wendell sees conferences like this as a step in the right direction.
Today's conference is indicative of why we are well equipped to serve community members in need and build a healthier Chautauqua County. I trust that we all can do this together, and I trust that we can heal.
Mario Cosentino, WNY News Now.
Mario, thank you. This is not the first time the county has addressed the local addiction and recovery resources that are available. Last fall, leaders launched CombatAddictionCHQ.com as a resource for those in need. Well, the Jamestown City Council member says this year's Juneteenth festival will serve as a celebration of freedom and equality for members of the African American community. Councilwoman Regina Brackman, who is one of the festival organizers, announced during a press conference last night that that festival will be held June 19th and 20th at Jackson Taylor Park on Washington Street. Brackman says that the Juneteenth is meant to celebrate the freedom and equality of African Americans. She explains, however, that the celebration isn't limited to just African Americans.
Paul obviously is not black. And Paul has been part of the Juneteenth for the last 4 or 5 years that I recall on, and has worked on many things within the city of Jamestown in the historic knowledge of African American history. So Juneteenth is open for everybody. We will welcome anyone to the table, regardless of their race, as long as they come and they're willing to do the work. We're willing to have them as part of our process. And it's open to everyone.
There will also be a tree dedication next weekend in honor of late City Councilwoman Victoria James, who Breckman says was a key element to hosting the festival each year. Baseball fans returned to the ballpark last night during the Tarp Skunks home opener, the first time the team, under new branding since the Jammers left years ago, played ball. WNY News Now's Christian Riethmiller was at the game talking with fans.
Baseball fans in Jamestown returned to the ballgame for the first time in years during the Jamestown Tarp Skunks home opener Thursday night. The Skunks began their season hosting the Batavia Muck Dogs in a historic setting that dates back to Russell E. Dietrich Jr. Park, then Municipal Stadium's grand opening in the 1940s. The Pepsi-sponsored opening night, which included live music and food before the game, the team honored the family of a player who kicked off baseball at the historic park over 80 years ago. Then, Chautauqua County Executive P.J. Wendell took the field throwing the first pitch. Fans were ecstatic to get back to baseball, including Lakewood resident and longtime fan Marilyn Ryan Piper.
We are looking for some not-so-smelly excitement. We got a little skunk here.
Yeah, Whiffy Jr.
Whiffy, this is Whiffy Jr., the new mascot.
Another couple of longtime fans, Chad Peterson and Desiree Brown, hit the park for date night. They too were extremely happy to have baseball back.
I've been sitting around too long and it's just too much cabin fever. I'm ready for some live sports of some sort.
He adds they have been coming to watch local baseball games for decades.
We came and saw the Jammers and the Expos. Just keep the tradition going because it's, like I said, it's been here. Park's been here since 1941, so it's a staple of Jamestown.
Not only are the two glad to be together, but at the game as well.
I wouldn't want to go anywhere else.
Yeah.
We love baseball. We watch it every night, so it's perfect.
Also in attendance was Russell E. Dietrich Jr., of whom the park was named after, and he tells us that the fan turnout was of no surprise to him.
Well, I'm probably as excited as anybody here. It's marvelous to see this wonderful crowd. The facility just stands out, and I'm not surprised about anything. It doesn't surprise me. It's a beautiful field. It doesn't surprise me. It's almost a full house. So it's just wonderful. Great to be here with all these great people.
Finally, it wasn't just the Tarp Skunks and the Muck Dogs that were in attendance, but the Jamestown Knights, a local youth baseball team that showed their support during the opener. Where's your team from?
Jamestown.
Jamestown, yeah? What age group are you?
11U. I'm
12U. Okay, is your whole team here?
Yes. Yeah, the whole program.
Yeah? Did you used to come to the Jammers games?
Yeah. All the time.
Yes. Okay, that's cool. Did you guys go out any of the pregame stuff, the trucks or the music?
Yeah.
You guys hope to play here someday?
Yeah.
For those who are not able to attend the home opener, there will be many more games to choose from throughout the summer. For more information, visit tarpskunks.com. I'm Christian Riethmiller, WNY News Now.
Christian, thank you. To make things even better, the Tarp Skunks skunked the Muck Dogs 9-0. They return to the ballpark tonight at 7:30, hosting the Elmira Pioneers. Well, we thank you for joining us for WNY News Now as we document all things local. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments down below on this beautiful Friday. Great to see Chad, Lisa, Carol, Danny, and Chris as well. Happy Friday to Wendy and Joe, too. We appreciate both of you for tuning in every day. We love to see your faces. Dakota, it was exciting last night. I got to hang out at the ballpark. I kind of just followed Christian around, honestly. I mean, excellent report by him, and it looks like everybody had a great time, and the weather was beautiful.
Yes, it was. And I mean, you know, I was talking with Andrew on our weather staff here about this, how I'm not the world's biggest fan of baseball, but it is absolutely fantastic to see it back here in Jamestown because it's been a staple here for years, and it was nice to see that back. And Christian, I got to give you a hand. That was an amazing package that he put together. And of course, that amazing reporters of him going out there and especially talking with the kids. That was fantastic. So I got to give it to him. I mean, that was a great package. So here's a look over the Chautauqua Institution. Not really a cloud in the sky right now, but that will be changing as we go potentially through the afternoon. You can see the satellite and radar composite doesn't really show much of anything, but there will be a few clouds starting to build in through the afternoon, and that's going to be the chance chance with a couple isolated or spotty showers or thunder showers later this afternoon. We managed 81 degrees yet again yesterday. We started the day at 62, 92, and 30 are the record highs and lows for today. So through the afternoon, sun and clouds mix. There is a bit more humidity in the air than there has been the past couple of days, but not as bad as it was earlier in the week. A couple afternoon scattered showers or storms may develop. A mild day, 77 to 82 with a southeast wind. Tomorrow looks great for the Pride Festival. We will time that out. Plus, cooler air returns for next week. We'll talk about it in detail with that 7-day forecast later in the show. Justin?
Much needed relief, Mr. Hunter, coming up 10 minutes time. We'll see you then. New York has changed rules for nursing homes as more people become vaccinated. According to the state health department, fully vaccinated nursing home workers no longer have to be tested for COVID-19 twice a week. Workers who have not been vaccinated still have to get tested. The health department says workers who show symptoms of coronavirus must be tested whether or not they have been vaccinated. Well, weighing the risks and benefits of COVID shots for kids, vaccine advisors from the Food and Drug Administration met to discuss that critical question yesterday, with experts weighing in on both the safety and efficiency of vaccines in children. Mary Maloney takes a closer look.
A critical meeting to discuss whether it's time to start vaccinating young kids against COVID-19.
It's the million-dollar question right now.
On Thursday, the FDA's vaccine advisors holding an online forum to discuss just that.
I very strongly believe we need a vaccine for adolescents and children, but I want to be sure that the risk of the vaccine is less than the risk of hospitalization.
Doctors, scientists, and researchers on the advisory committee looking at what's needed to greenlight coronavirus vaccines for kids under 12 years old, including the data required to support an FDA authorization for use.
We are asking the committee to focus their discussion on safety issues. We have a very well-established regulatory precedent for demonstrating effectiveness in pediatric populations.
Although children are at much lower risk of severe disease than adults, advisors raising concerns that they may be vectors for spread. And as experts determine whether the benefits outweigh any potential risks, public health authorities also acknowledging COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations are declining in the U.S.
We generate herd immunity. This disease is disappearing between the vaccine and natural immunity. So just playing the devil's advocate here.
Pfizer's vaccine is already approved for people aged 12 and older. Moderna said Thursday it's seeking emergency use authorization for its vaccine in 12 to 17-year-olds. Both companies are still testing their vaccines in younger children. I'm Mary Maloney.
Mary, thank you. The FDA usually asks for safety data in between 500 and 3,000 children considering a new pediatric vaccine. Coming up, the latest in the shooting of a New York State trooper. And later, the push to raise awareness about Lyme disease and an increase in ticks this summer. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Honest Jones has what you're looking for. When you want it good, we're gonna give you lots more.
From freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has what you're looking for. And now 2 great locations, East 2nd Street and Fairmount Avenue. Order takeout or delivery today online at honestjohns.pizza.
You're gonna get it good at Honest John's.
Have the best summer ever with endless adventures at Girl Scout Summer Camp. Financial aid available, open to all girls. For more information, call or go to gswny.org.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Police say a man wanted in connection with the shooting of a New York State trooper during a welfare check in the Binghamton area was arrested yesterday following an intensive search there. They identified the suspect as 34-year-old Jason Johnson, who was found at a riverbank off of a roadway just after 4:30 in the afternoon in Colesville. That's about a dozen miles east of Binghamton. Trooper Becky Seeger was shot in her hip area Wednesday night while working with the Broome County Sheriff's Office checking the welfare of a person in Colesville. Police report her injuries were not life-threatening and that she was at a local hospital yesterday morning. The search for the suspect was intense, with local schools there switching to remote learning as police from multiple agencies searched the area, warning the public that the man was considered to be armed and dangerous. U.S. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand is making a push to increase federal funding for Lyme disease and other tick-borne illness research. Senator Gillibrand is asking for $12 million in appropriation funding for the Department of Defense's tick-borne disease research program. Now, additional funding would be used as well to implement the Kay-Hagan Tick Act. Hagan was a U.S. Senator from North Carolina and a friend of Gillibrand who passed away from a tick-borne illness in 2011. Current legislation is designed to support early detection and diagnosis as well as improve treatment of the disease. However, Gillibrand wants more to be done.
Lyme and other tick-borne diseases pose a serious and growing public health threat. Each year, there are more than 476,000 cases of Lyme disease across the country. That is double the number of cases reported 15 years ago. In northeastern states, instances of Lyme disease have more than tripled in the last 25 years. New York is one of the most heavily affected states in the country.
She says over that time period, there have been 92,000 cases of Lyme disease reported here in New York. The senator says this is concerning because the nation as a whole has seen increasing numbers of ticks as well, meaning a higher likelihood that people could contract the disease. Well, President Joe Biden's first foreign trip brings him face-to-face with UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Biden faces an uphill battle to reassert American leadership with key allies in Europe. Elizabeth Rosales looks into the conversations with world leaders ahead of a high-stakes meeting with a Russian president.
President Joe Biden's debut on the world stage. For the first time, he meets face-to-face with UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson.
I told the Prime Minister we have something in common. We both married way above our station.
I'm not going to dissent from that one, but I'm not going to disagree with the President or indeed on anything else. I think.
Biden and Johnson signing an updated Atlantic Charter, the pivotal document FDR signed with Prime Minister Winston Churchill to define Allied goals for the post-war world. Both leaders lifting U.S.-UK COVID-19 travel restrictions, plus a major announcement.
This is about our responsibility.
Biden vowing to buy 500 million Pfizer vaccine doses to donate to the world.
The largest single purchase and donation of COVID-19 vaccines by any single country ever.
A busy schedule ahead for President Biden, including a G7 summit. The message? America is back. After allies upset over America's Trump era.
I'm heading to the G7, then to the NATO ministerial, and then to meet with Mr. Putin to let him know what I want him to know.
It all leads to that showdown next week with Russian President Vladimir Putin. These tough talks expected to cover Russia's aggression with Ukraine, interference with U.S. elections, and a recent string of cyber attacks originating in Russia that shut down a major U.S. gas pipeline and the world's largest beef supplier. In Washington, Isabel Rosales.
Isabel, thank you. A baseball game with the goal of honoring special education students is slated to take place this weekend in Falconer. This is the third year Exceptional Star Athletics have hosted the special baseball game. The group looks to empower those with special needs by pairing them with buddies to help them partake in activities they normally could not. Since taking shape in 2019, the ESA program, relying on community donations, have held nearly a dozen different events like mini golf, bowling, sled hockey, and curling. On Sunday, ESA athletes and buddies will be escorted to the field by the Falconer Fire Department, with Aylin Collin, a former special ed teacher at Falconer School, throwing the ceremonial first pitch. ESA athletes Alexis Modemir will sing the national anthem, with DJ Devin Payne playing music throughout. Members of the Falconer Key Club will also be selling some hot dogs. The community is invited to attend the game happening Sunday at 1 at Lions Field in Falconer. Certainly incredible to see. We thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments down below. We'd love to hear from you, or simply send us a thumbs up or something like that. Whatever you want to say, really. Good to see John. Good to see Tim. Good to see Butch, Kayla, and Anna as well. Hopefully you all are having a great day. We appreciate you tuning in. Well, let's get to a full check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter live with that. And Dakota, this weekend looking to be pretty nice out there.
Well, we're going to have at least one decent weekend day, but then Sunday, might be a little bit murky, but we'll talk about it here. First of all, wanted to talk about the temperatures over the past 7 days because, what a week it has been. 75 last Friday, and look at this map, like 81 degrees has been the favorite number here over the past week here, 81 Saturday, Sunday, and also yesterday, and also Wednesday and yesterday we had 81 degrees, and the problem with that 81 was it didn't feel like 81 because we had high amounts of humidity. So the good news is, after today, the humidity starts to back off once again. And the chance of rain here, we do have a small chance in there for today, around a 40% chance. But look at tomorrow, about a 20% chance. We'll talk more about tomorrow in a minute. Also with Sunday, about a 35% chance. Then it dries out as we go into early next week, as we start to cool off once again, and it means less humidity. Good amount of sunshine downtown from on top of the Doubletree Hotel. We're at 76 as a noon hour. Light southeast wind, but look at the dew point at 64. That creates a heat index of 78 degrees. So that's what it feels like when you step outside. The humidity is up there once again today. But if you're not a fan of the heat and the humidity, just hold on. There is a change coming. This is the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, and you'll see that cooler than average temperatures are favored across much of the continental East Coast here. And so if you're not a fan of the heat and the humidity, it's going to be backing off here as we go throughout the next week or so. But not a whole lot going on across the Northeast. We do have some rain showers, but there's actually going to be a cold front sweeping through on Saturday. That is going to bring us the cooler air, and look at the severe weather down across towards Minneapolis. That'll be staying away from us. So let's take a look at Future Scan. Now, it does paint the idea of a few showers and thunderstorms popping up through the afternoon, and the same thing we talk about, this is a computer model. Doesn't necessarily mean the showers and thunderstorms are going to be in this exact location, but you're getting the idea that they're going to pop up through the afternoon, and those are going to continue this evening, tapering off overnight. We may see a few areas of patchy fog developing overnight towards morning. This is by tomorrow morning. There could be a couple isolated showers, mainly in Cattaraugus County, and then tomorrow looking mainly dry, partly to mostly cloudy, but notice a couple showers popping up here in the afternoon. We're not going to rule that out for the Pride Festival tomorrow, but the majority of the day should stay dry. And speaking of the Pride Festival, here's the updated forecast. 67 degrees at 9 a.m. as the Pride flag is raised at City Hall. Should be mainly dry as we go through the afternoon here. About 75 at 2 o'clock. Even though it's not depicted, there could be a light rain shower popping up, but it should be mainly dry. We're hoping for mainly dry. 74 at 7 o'clock, but overall, a nice day. How about the future? Next 7 days coming up. 78 tomorrow's the high temp. 77 on Sunday. Chance for an afternoon storm. The sun returns on Monday, and look at the cooler air surging in next week. Only 69 on Wednesday, but at least the sun will be out. We will take a break and be right back.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this. You will find something.
You will find something new.
Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear. Because for years, he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like, if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. In an effort to help animals find a forever home, we're partnered with the Chautauqua County Humane Society in our Pet of the Week segment. Joining us live is Amanda Sublett to talk more about this week's featured furry friend. Hey, Amanda.
Hey, Justin. This friend is Vladimir. He is about 8 years old, senior guy. He turns his head around. Here, buddy. Turn around. Can't tell at the moment, but he does have a slight head tilt. He does act perfectly fine. We don't know if he was born with it or if he endured some type of trauma throughout his life. He is 8 years old, so we never know what could have happened. He loves to eat. He finds things around pretty easily, so you can tell it's not going to bother him one bit. He's not really a fan of small children. They really stress him out, and having that head tilt definitely makes it a little bit harder on him. But if you have a home that has maybe one other cat, wouldn't put him with dogs, older children, he could definitely really thrive in there. He loves to cuddle. He's the sweetest, most loving boy you've ever met.
Yeah, he certainly looks like it right now. A lot of times when we come on the segment, no disrespect to any of us, but some of our furry friends like to kind of get a move on and head somewhere else. And he seems like he's been sitting with you for a while.
He's quite content sitting here, and he'll stay here as long as I let him.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned not a necessarily good household for dogs and small kids, but you know, if you do have older kids and you're looking to maybe adopt a cat or teach them, you know, good manners and good behaviors about dealing with animals who maybe like our friend Vladimir here who have had some sort of either issue or from the past that doesn't necessarily affect him now, obviously, but you think he'd be a good fit to really kind of, you know, be that, I don't want to say conversation piece, but that member of the family who can really help life lessons and good behaviors about taking care of animals.
He's going to be a great cat to help everybody learn how to be a cat owner because he's so easygoing and loving. It's just going to make sure that your house is not too chaotic because he can get stressed easily, as with any animal, but for him a little bit more than others. And we want to make sure that he's going to be happy and content in that home as well. Everybody should be able to thrive.
Absolutely. And you mentioned he is a food lover. Any favorite treats that we've found out about?
Honestly, who doesn't love treats of any kind?
Right? Gosh,
That's right.
Look at you say it. He's like, treat? You talking to me? All right, Amanda, thank you very much. And again, to learn more about our friend Vladimir here, it is so easy to connect. And look, he's on the move. He heard the treat word, and he's like, where are these at? Where are these at? You can log on to chqhumane.org, or you can give him a call at 716-665-2209. We thank you both for coming on today and connecting with us every week. Again, chqhumane.org is the place to be. Well, that's going to do it for us today. Of course, news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com and on our mobile app. All you got to do is search WNY News Now in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. It's free to download and we'll keep you in the know. We'll leave you with a live look over Chautauqua Lake. As Dakota mentioned, it'll be a nice weekend out there, less humid, but you might have to watch out for a couple of showers. If you missed anything we talked about today or want to check out that forecast, it's easy to do. This show loops right after, and yeah, the shoe, it's just a big shoe.
That's right.
News. The show loops right after here, and then of course you can watch it live on WNYNewsNow.com. Have a great weekend. We're back Monday. See you then.